Okay, good morning.
Good
My name
morning.
is Bima and I will be your interviewer for today.
Yes.
So first, what's your name? And I know you.
My full name is Wahyu Iman, but you can call me Wahyu.
Okay, may I see your ID please for a second?
Yes, here.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So I will start from part 1.
Yes.
So the first question I'd like to ask is about food.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite food, Wahyu?
So interesting. So my favorite food is pecel because my mom cooked pecel when I was a kid, and it's become my favorite food right now. So I think pecel is healthier food because all the vegetable are boiled, and then we pour peanut sauce, and then we sometimes add some egg, and also we also eat kerupuk with
Yeah.
pecel.
And about food, do you like cooking actually?
Yeah, I like cooking, but with simple food. For example, sayur lodeh and soup, and also pecel. I like to make pecel, but by myself because I can customize the taste, and I also can customize the ingredients. And I like cooking when I was in free time. When I'm busy, I usually go outside and having food in some place.
Interesting. So now I'd like to ask you about study. So enough about the food, now about study. Where do you study usually?
I study animation at Indonesian Institute of the Art. I used to like animation when I was a kid, and then when I was in college, I chose animation as a major. And yeah, in Institute Indonesian Institute.
Okay. Do you like
Okay.
studying there?
Yeah, I like study there because as you know that Indonesian Institute of the Art has a lot of art major, for example, fine art, music, and then photograph. So I can collaborate with other artists, and then also the environment support my artworks. So yeah, I like to study there, and yeah, it's so interesting there.
Interesting. So you said that you study about art. How about learning English? How long have you been learning English?
Actually, I've been learning English since I was a kid in elementary school, but I started to focus to learn English 2 years ago. I went to Sanata Dharma University in Yogyakarta. I take English courses, and I think it's really helped me to speak English fluently. So the lecturer are very competent, and also the environment very support to my English, and also the motivation for other friends is really important and support. And yeah, it's incredible because we learn English with another people who have different background. So learning English, and also they also share about their experience in English. It's really nice to study there.
So about languages, what other languages do you speak? Is there any?
Yeah, my mother language is actually my mother language is Sunda, and my second language is Indonesia. I learned Sunda from my mother and father, from the family, and then I go to school and I have to use Bahasa Indonesia. And then after that, when I was in high school, I did like Islamic boarding school with Japanese people. So I used to speak in Japanese, and then after that I learned English. So English is my fourth language.
So you can speak 4 languages.
Yes.
So you polyglot, you can say.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of part 1. Thank you for answering the questions.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome to part 2. So we will talk about a topic for 1 to 2 minutes, and you have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. You can make some notes to help, and here's the pen and the paper. So this is the question for you. Okay, so this is the question for you.
Koprum.
Okay, have you done?
Yes.
Okay. So the question will be, you can answer after I ask you this question. So describe something you have made or created.
Okay, so I have made Rimbun project. It's interactive project, animation interactive project. I made Rimbun project in 2023 in here, Yogyakarta. And why I make Rimbun project? Because I want to invite people to make animation together, and with a fun way and interesting way. So the second, I want to make interactive project. So I think it's the artwork will be interesting when it's made by several people. And then for the third, I want to give them knowledge about animation technique, because people know that animation is difficult to make. So I want to make them that animation it's easy to make with technique that's simple and with traditional technique. So but when I make this project, I saw that people afraid to start to draw because they say I cannot draw. But with this technique that Rimbun project bring, it's rotoscoping technique. So people can make draw by tracing the image. So the techniques based on the video, we make the drawing based on the video. So I give free to the visitor, to the people, to make their own style. So and when I saw the people make their drawing or make a drawing in Rimbun project, I'm so happy because I can see all the image can make this animation with this technique. And then I also happy when they say this one first day become animator. So it's really nice to hear. So that's Rimbun project.
Oh, that's interesting project actually.
Yes.
And the follow-up question: would you like to make something similar to Rimbun project, and why?
I think yes, I will make similar project with Rimbun project, maybe the similar concept. So nowadays the visitor become animators. Maybe someday the visitor become background artists. So we know that animation not only animators. So there are several several jobs, background artists, and then voiceover, and then also a character designer. Maybe someday the visitor will become a background or design character artist. So yeah.
That is interesting answer, and so that is the end of part 2. Thank you. Okay, let's move to the last part, which is part 3. So you've been talking about something you've made or created, and now I'd like to discuss with you some related topics.
Yes, please.
So the first question, so it's all about art. So the first question is it important to provide art and music education in schools?
Yeah, I think it's important to provide music and art in school, because music and art can stimulate the student brains, and also the student can release their emotion through music and art. For example, they will making sad song when they are feeling sad, and also it's this art and music can be the good activities for improve their creativity.
Do you think that children at school in your country do enough art, music, and other creative activities?
I think it's enough, because for example, when I was in high school, there are some extracurricular providing art and music. For example, there are theater, and then also gamelan, and also drawing. And also after the school, the student come together and making art, and it's really fun. I think it's really fun. And then also the government usually make a competition. For example, FLS1, the competition is about art, and then student can enter the competition with art.
Okay, good. Move to the next question. Can you please identify the types of creative arts that are common in your country?
Yeah, it is. It's performance art, because every city here have their own performance. For example, performance such as dance performance or music performance. For example, in Bali we have tari kecak and dance kecak, and then in the Aceh we have tari dance saman, and then in the West Java we have Jaipong dance. So usually the performance is for entertaining.
Okay. Are the arts promoted enough in your country?
Yeah, I think because here we have art ministry, and one of the important program from art ministry is Dana Indonesia Raya, because the government will support artists to make their workshop, to make their artworks. The government will support for the money for the proposal that artists submit to the government.
Okay, so let's talk about traditional arts. Is it important to preserve the traditional arts of a country?
Yeah, I think it's important, because we know that Indonesia has a lot of art, a lot of culture, and a lot of people, and then art become their identity. And then, for example, in Kalimantan they have their own batik, and in Java they have their own motif of batik, and then in Bali and also in Sumatra. I think it is important, and art become identity of the city here.
Okay. Actually, there's still 1 minute. So the last question: Compare the way that traditional dances and songs are performed today and in the past.
Yeah, I think nowadays song and dance are influenced by Western culture. So the dance and the song usually it's modern, but I think it's for Indonesian dance and song. Usually they still have traditional instrument or traditional movement here, and also. But in the past, usually they make their own traditional movement. But right now, because the internet, we can, watch the other culture easily, and the other culture also has big impact to our song and dance today.
Okay, that's the end of the speaking test. Thank you for coming in and answering these questions. Thank you.